Start recording. And is it really recording? Good. All right. A couple seconds of silence and I will begin. Hey everyone, this is Renee from Tippy.com. It's September 14, 2011, and this is iPhone Live. Oh, Georgia, how are you doing?
I'm doing really well.
Are you? How well is
Yeah,
work?
I'm doing pretty well. I didn't work today. I just chilled.
You only chilled?
I only chilled.
I not only did I have to work, but I was stuck in a room without interwebs from 10 o'clock till about 6 o'clock. I almost called Jimmy Carter in the United Nations to come liberate me. It was inhuman.
Yeah, that sounds horrible.
Also joining us, the CIO of Nickelfish, the co-host of Iterate. How are you doing, Seth Clifford?
I'm doing well. How are you guys doing?
You look very pink today. It's awesome.
Yeah, I'm always a little bit warm in the evenings. I take a shower and then, you know,
Shower shot, shower shot, shower shot.
something like that.
Nice. So let's dive right into it. Georgia, you did Zen and Tech number 15. Goal
We did.
setting. We did. Oh, well, that's very nice of you to share that kind of credit with me. I appreciate that. So what was the goal setting episode all about?
It was all about expanding your bubble, um, finding things that will make your life a little bit more enriching and adding something else, another skill set that you don't already have, something simple, something fun.
Nice. And you gave everyone the homework to SETI challenge. Watch it. What was it? Watch it scurry before you and hear the lamentations of your success, or something like that.
Exactly.
Nice. And Seth, we did not do iterate this week.
No, we didn't. We had some scheduling issues that we've since resolved, but we will be coming strong next week.
And we're gonna do a what did you call it? A double gun, a something or other.
Oh, I said we were going to come at you with a double barrel assault.
Nice, because we're gonna do Mark Jardine from Tapbots, and then the week after, immediately after, with no delay, David Barnard from AppCubby.
That's going to be great.
Yep.
Fantastic. What have we got any news this week, Georgia? Has anything happened? Did anyone resign? Did anyone leave a phone in a bar?
I can't say that it's any really big news, but, there's still stuff happening. We have some
Oh, wait a minute, Georgia.
rumors.
Hold on a second, because you reminded me of my favorite saying. And you'll know immediately where it's from. Good reporters don't get great stories, Jimmy. Good reporters make them great. Come on, both Perry White and Lois Lane said that. It must be true.
It must be true. Yeah, so we have some more rumors going around about the iPhone 5 as if we don't have enough of them. Like, come on already. But yeah, these ones are saying it's not getting a redesign. That's just completely depressing to me, if I may just state that out flatly. And it might even have a glass back. Don't think so.
What do you think?
Yeah, so this was from Mac Rumors. And I don't know, Renee, what do you think about that? The
No,
phone might be
I asked
exactly
you
the same.
first because you sounded almost quasi-whiny about it. You sounded a little bit off-put, a little bit angry.
I am a little bit angry, actually. No, I'm really excited about having, about something that would be a new redesign. It's been so long. Like, if it had been, if we'd waited like under a year, I would have been, okay, I can get it. They're not going to be doing a full new redesign. But at least not to have a glass back, I would expect to be the at minimum. So, I don't know. Like, we even went all the way down to a poll to find out if this would be enough for people not to buy the iPhone 5. So, yeah, it could be really serious. We look forward to having a phone that looks different. So, it says it might be 512 megabytes of RAM expected. Doesn't really matter. They don't even mention it, so not a big deal. The height is the same for where the camera is. Thickness is about the same. Still with a 3.5-inch display,
The
and
same, like
might
it's the
even.
same. You're just
It's exactly, pretty much exactly
it's like they're gonna
the
take
same
my
completely,
iPhone
except it's
4
going to be faster.
and
It's
write
going
number
to
5 on it. Is that what's gonna happen? They're gonna take this and put a big number 5 on it. Is that it?
Yeah, and I would expect antenna redesign, but that would be just, yeah, so we don't go through another antenna gate.
I don't know, Seth.
Seth? We're both throwing it to Seth.
Yeah, I don't know what to think at this point. I kind of just feel that I'm ready for whatever they're gonna bring out, and my iPhone 4 is working well. I can't complain. It's been pretty solid through the beta process, and it's it's been a great phone for the past year. But I'd like to upgrade because I do find that every time before an upgrade, I do feel like my phone is getting a little slower. What in terms of what it looks like, I honestly don't care. I really don't. If it's the same form factor and much faster, I'm fine with that. And if it's different and it's more like the iPod Touch and slimmer and a little more curved, I'm fine with that too, frankly, because I've stopped using a case and I'm good with whatever they bring me. I'm just going into it very open minded.
Yeah, I'm not using a case either, actually. I haven't used a case in a little while, and I'm kind of happy with it, though I did love my case before that, so.
But here's the thing. So this story is from an analyst who we know from scientific testing is about as accurate as a trained monkey flipping quarters on a good day. And I don't mean a good day for the monkey. I mean a good day for the analyst. So I'm going to take this with a Cupertino-sized, grain of salt. Jeremy has been saying for a while that it's not going to be a redesign. I'm going to be disappointed. The thing about this year, though, is it's so strange because we are waiting the extra months, so you have to factor that in. But on top of that, there's rumors of an iPhone Nano, which we heard going back all the way to WWDC, but not a Nano necessarily in smaller, but a Nano in less expensive, so that the phone would be cheap enough to buy, but also the plans that come with it would be cheaper, so that a new generation of feature phone adapters or people crossing over could easily afford it. Then you had rumors of the 8 gigabyte iPhone also getting the A5 chipset and being like an iPhone 4S, no space, while Steve lives. And then you heard more rumors about an iPhone 5 getting a redesign, and that's been going around for a while too. So we know that Apple juggles tons of prototypes, and they would probably wait until the last minute to see if they could get the more aspirational, the more gutsy prototype out there, and if not, fall back on the easier one. But I think we're just seeing a glut of all these rumors, and I don't think that anyone has a clear vision of what Apple's going to put out yet. It may well be an iPhone 4 Part 2, but it could also be that, because we'll get to this later, but there's a rumor that some carriers will be getting the iPhone 4 at reduced plans and some will be getting the 5. I just don't think it's clear right now.
You would, no doubt you would still get it, though. Right, Renee? Like, what, even if it's just, some faster processors, the phone looks exactly the same,
And a
you would
slightly
be
better
going out to
camera,
get it.
maybe.
Yeah. You
Yeah,
get it
but
for
I
sure,
have to
right?
because I write it. I'd have to do a review of it. I mean, I'm not. The barometer is whether you would get it, Georgia, because you are widely known as far less tolerant of such things than I.
I think that it would, let's put it in percentages. I think there would be a much greater chance that I would not get a new phone if it did not look different.
Well, in fact, you asked the
I
Tippy
know that
Nation.
seems so superficial. What do you scratch? Yeah, surface, more surface.
You asked the Tippy Nation about this. What did they tell you?
Let's take a peek at what the new stats are at. So we took a look, and it said 25% said would you be less likely to get an iPhone 5 if there was no new design? 25% said no, I'm getting the iPhone 5 no matter what it looks like. 5% said no, I'd prefer the iPhone 5 to look like an iPhone 4. And 33 said maybe. I'm waiting to see what the specs are to decide. And then 24% said yes, it's been 15 months, I need something fresh. And 7% said yes, I don't like the iPhone 4 design. So it's split really evenly. Like 33, 33, 33. 33 maybe, 33 yes, 33 no.
Did any of that surprise you, Seth?
No, not terribly. I guess I thought there might be more people that didn't like the design of the 4 because I know that it took me a while to kind of come around on it. When I first saw it, I really
Right.
was not a fan of the angular nature of it in my hand. I mean, on a table or in a picture, it looks fantastic, but I didn't like holding it as much as I liked my 3GS. And eventually, I don't know, I just kind of got used to it. So I'm surprised that more people didn't say that they really didn't like that form factor.
Yeah, I actually still feel the same way, Seth. When I grab hold of a 3GS, it's still much smoother and I like the feel in my hand a little bit more. Though I like the sturdiness of the design of the 4. The difference between having something that's like, full metal glass, it feels very, very sturdy and I appreciate that, but I still like something that's kind of a little bit more rounded and soft.
Yeah. I mean,
It's
the 3GS felt a little cheaper. Like this definitely feels the build quality is better,
Yeah,
but there's
yeah.
just something about the contour of it in my hand that never quite felt right.
Right. It's not made ergonomically. It's made aesthetically. It's made to look beautiful, not really for something that would feel the best
well, you know the
for
old
you.
saying, right? I mean, it is better to look good than to feel good, and this looks marvelous.
That's true, Fernando. It does.
Thank you. I
Banana.
love you. Yeah, it's really unclear to me what we're gonna get. Because there's this rumor that Sprint is getting the iPhone 5 in October, and they're gonna offer an unlimited data plan in order to get people to either stay with Sprint or switch to Sprint. And AT&T had unlimited when they had the iPhone, and then they got rid of it. And then what's it called? Verizon had unlimited data for the iPhone, and then they got rid of it. And then let's bring Seth back in. Do we have Seth? Send me some video, Seth. So yeah, Verizon had unlimited data, and then they got rid of it. And Sprint, is it like a tease again, Georgia? They're going to offer unlimited data just to sign people up initially, and then after they have the early influx, they'll say, "Oh, unlimited data is leaving soon. Get it now," just to try to get a last few people to sign up, and then a few months later end it.
I would assume so. And I think it'll work. I think people will want to be grandfathered into that. People that haven't had unlimited data or might want to use unlimited data. And if, say, iChat and other things come to 3G and we do more streaming in iCloud, it really might make a big difference to people and the amount of data which they use.
Yeah, the other interesting thing is that there's a rumor that Sprint is not getting the iPhone 5, but they're getting the iPhone 4, which makes even less sense to me because the iPhone 4 will have been on the market for 15 months. And how would Sprint compete with iPhone 5, presumably on AT&T and T and Verizon, if they're only getting an iPhone 4? I mean, even if they have cheap plans, would that then be the budget iPhone? It's not cheap because it's an actually different iPhone, but it's cheap because it's an old phone with really cheap plans, like Zero or something.
So, Renee, if they would be, like, it doesn't make, to me, it doesn't really make any sense that they would be getting the iPhone 4 only. I can see that they would get the iPhone 4 and the iPhone 5, but just to get the iPhone 4 on its own, what antenna system would they need to be in place in order to run on Sprint? What do they run on?
See, this is a funny question because a bunch of people wrote into us saying that there was general confusion about whether a Verizon iPhone could run on Sprint. And I don't know why there's a lot of confusion because we've seen, I mean, if you look at mobile, we saw, Seth, do you remember the whole Franken-Pre effort?
Yeah,
To
I
take
do
us
remember that.
to take a Verizon Pre 2 and get it to run on Sprint, and that was non-trivial. I mean, it wasn't like you had to be able to take the thing apart and re-put it together. You couldn't just take the phone over, and I believe some of the other phones weren't compatible. Just because something is CDMA doesn't mean it works one on the other. There are some phones I believe that can roam on Verizon when they're outside Sprint areas, and if they can roam on Verizon, then obviously the radios could work on both networks. But you're dealing with so much here. You have AT&T, which uses more common GSM bands. Then you have Sprint, which uses the AWS, much higher bands. So you've got two different GSM carriers to support. Then you have Verizon, which uses CDMA, and you have Sprint, which uses CDMA, but the phones are not always compatible. and to have this one iPhone to rule them all. And I hate to keep going back to this, but Apple had so much trouble making the antenna for the iPhone 4, and it's become a cliche now, but unless they've stolen a bunch of Nokia engineers, I don't know if they can make an antenna, because every bit of metal has to be a different length for a different frequency, and you have to have the chipset that can support them both. It has to be wired to support them both, and you have to have the frequencies to support them both. And I think that the current iPhone also has special bands to support areas in Asia that the previous iPhone didn't. So it's already a pentaband phone, 5 bands. That's a you start adding AWS and maybe a different CDMA modulation for Sprint. That's a hella complicated phone.
Yeah.
And then, like, I would even ask this question: would there be any reason that they would not have the iPhone 5 at launch, besides the fact that they couldn't at the time of launch for Sprint? Like, why would they choose to do the iPhone 4 and not the iPhone 5? It just doesn't make any... Well, okay, go ahead, Renee.
No, Lloyd in the chat room is saying they're carrier locked and not antenna locked, but that's not entirely true. They're, like I said, AWS is a different band than GSM, and you have different... It's very complicated. We'd have to get Mickey on here to explain in excruciating detail on a mathematical waveform level why it is the way it is. But the only thing I can guess again is that that Sprint would be getting this quote unquote budget iPhone.
But why wouldn't they have as well the iPhone 5?
I don't know. I think if they wanted to position it as a cheapy iPhone, the way AT&T has been saying we have a $99 iPhone and Verizon doesn't, Sprint would say we don't have the iPhone 5, but boy, we have an iPhone you can buy, for $200 straight, and then just pay $50 a month for whatever.
So you would be saying that AT&T and Verizon would no longer be selling. They would not have a budget iPhone, yet Sprint would. Or would Verizon and AT&T also offer the same phone for the same price? And then really, why would anyone?
I don't think AT&T or Verizon would ever offer a budget iPhone. I think they look at iPhone because every carrier is about ARPU, which is the revenue per customer, and they want that revenue. They don't want to offer.
I heard that differently when you said that.
Okay, they don't want to make less money off of us. They want to make more money. So I think they will take the flagship. Maybe they'll take the budget one as well. I don't know, but I don't think they have any incentive to take it. I think Sprint is number 3, and that they are the ones who are going to have the pricing pressure put on them.
Yeah, but that's kind of their thing, right? Is they're willing to take some hits to make a splash. Sprint's whole thing right now is like, we're the only ones with unlimited data, really, really unlimited. So if they were to get any iPhone, even if it was the 4, I still think that might be good enough for them to kind of just at least contend with the other carriers at this point, Because if they continue to not have an iPhone, I mean, are we just summarily counting out T-Mobile at this point?
No, but that's why I was saying
T-Mobile will have an iPhone, but they'll have the iPhone 5.
I was talking about the members supporting the AWS bands, which would have to do to work on T-Mobile 3G.
Right.
Or, sorry, T-Mobile 4G. I forget how we're pronouncing it now.
Right, yeah. Be clear about that.
Yeah, and that's the other thing still is if we get an HSPA plus iPhone 5 on AT&T and T-Mobile, they could call it a 4G iPhone, where Sprint and Verizon, because it would just be EVDO, it wouldn't be WiMAX and it wouldn't be LTE, it would only be a 3G iPhone. So is that a marketing disadvantage for them?
Yeah.
It's got one more G. The GSM one's got one more G.
With all the 4G banter that's going around, I think honestly to release a phone now, I don't know. I mean, iOS is a really compelling platform. I think if any phone could launch without 4G and still be okay, it would probably be that phone.
But they're going to call it 4G because it'll have you think it won't even have HSPA plus? It's got to have HSPA plus.
Well, no, it'll have. Well, all right. So then, what we're talking about really is the true 4G versus the marketing 4G
versus the 4G, yeah.
Right. So
UX.
I don't know. I'm losing the thread here.
Oh, and Lloyd is losing his cool in the chat room and yelling that every Sprint phone roams on Verizon. But like I said, you can't just buy a phone on Verizon and take it to Sprint and expect to use it there, or vice versa. So yeah, maybe the technology is the same, but we'll see how we'll see what the support is like.
So T-Mobile would get the iPhone 5, Sprint might get the iPhone 4, and AT&T and Verizon would also have the iPhone 5.
I don't know. I wonder if T-Mobile
How
would
would
get a budget iPhone too. That's an interesting question because the only thing
Well,
we
they're
heard,
definitely getting the iPhone 5. So they might get a budget iPhone along with the iPhone 5.
the only thing we heard is that it would be unexpected carriers would be having it. And does that mean Cricket? Would Cricket have the cheapy iPhone 4 or a cheapy iPhone, whatever it is? Is Cricket the only unexpected carrier?
Cricket.
Well, I think that people would want, like, I think that it would be smart for Apple to have the cheapy iPhone somewhere because some people cannot afford, especially people that, kids, people that are younger, people that are on a heavy budget can't afford to buy an iPhone. Like, even at the subsidized rate, it's still pretty expensive. So I think it's a good idea for Apple to kind of nix the market in the butt so that people, are like, maybe it's like $100 for an iPhone or $100 for a cheapy iPhone in comparison to like nothing. They're like, you know what? I want the iPhone. Maybe I'll kind of wrangle in the money instead of getting a cheaper. I won't say what kind of phone, so I get a whole bunch of spam hate mail for that. But a cheapy budget phone that's free. So I think that would be good for them to get it. Where they're going to place it, I don't know. I think that they should, to have it on both carriers would be a good idea, anyways. Will they do it? Probably not.
I agree with Georgia. You know how crazy that makes me. Seth, I think I've asked you this before, right? In your ideal world, it's still an AT&T iPhone 5 for you?
Yeah, probably. Just, like earlier on iPad Live, I said I'd be fine switching the iPad cellular connection to a different carrier, but our AT&T coverage around here is good enough that I don't want to go through the hassle of getting rid of it. I think it's all right, and when it does fail, I do complain. But in our house alone, Verizon is terrible. I mean, no one has cell service in our house, but AT&T is pretty good just about everywhere else. So, yeah, I'm sticking.
You know who's not sticking?
Yeah, and in the end, if you have to be able to, the phone has to work as a phone.
No, it's an objet d'art.
Right.
As long as it looks good on the coffee table. We went through this. I brought out Fernando and everything.
Yeah.
Well, it's nice to look good, but in the end, if I can't make a call or I get a call that's lost, I'm upset.
I'm actually happier now.
I'll be like Seth if he drops from Skype another time.
You know who's not with the iPhone 5 though?
Do tell me.
I'll show you. I don't have to tell you anymore. Watch.
Sweet.
There's been a lot of anticipation and secrecy surrounding Apple's upcoming release of the iPhone 5. And here's the latest news. Last week, an Apple employee left a working prototype of the iPhone 5 in a bar, and somebody stole it. Yeah, this has been big news. Obviously, Apple wants this prototype back. They've already released an ad to address this situation. We have a copy. Take a look.
We're very excited about the advances we've made with iPhone 5, but unfortunately someone out there has stolen one of our prototypes and won't give it back.
We will find this person and redefine the world of genital torture.
The current plan is to strap this lowlife to a tree and feed him or her a rare African species of flesh-eating fire ant. And then we'll film that person being devoured from the inside out, and then post that video on our revolutionary new iCloud.
It's amazing that in such a short period of time, we've managed to create a digital form of the Ebola virus that we can inject into a thieving person's eyes.
We are planning things that will make Vlad the Impaler look like Mr. Rogers.
Give it back! Give us back our iPhone! Give it back now!
Yeah, Coco not happy, right? Coco don't play that?
I like the Ebola virus in the eyes. That was good.
I like the Mr. Rogers reference.
No, I mean, it's funny that a lost iPhone has enough cultural significance to get, Conan O'Brien doing monologues about it.
Yeah, that's true. And plus, how can they lose an iPhone? I don't understand how after... like, heads must be rolling after the first time that they've lost the iPhone last year. It's now going to be almost like a joke. Like, everyone's going to have to lose an iPhone.
Well, I think that's why it's
like next year they should lose an iPhone on purpose that doesn't look anything like what the prototype is, and just laugh.
Yeah.
I wonder if that's what happened with Radio Shack, because we got this announcement that Radio Shack is preparing to start offering the Verizon iPhone 4. I mean, hello, February's calling. They want their announcement back. What's up? Why would you get the Verizon iPhone 4 now?
Well, the phone is still selling remarkably well, considering that most people are now waiting. I mean, I've had at least 3 people in my immediate family / circle of friends text me or email me and be like, "Hey, my 3GS is getting old. Should I buy the new phone, or what do you know?" And I'm like, at
Yeah.
this point, I would wait. I would hold out another month or so and see if you can bear it, and you'll be better
Because if
off.
not, you
So
at least get an iPhone 4 cheaper.
yeah, and these people are ready to go out and still buy an iPhone 4 because they're like, that's okay, I guess. So I think really the only people that are really chomping at the bit for the new phone are people like us, because that phone is still selling remarkably well for the fact that it's now, 14 months old?
But does this mean that
Yeah,
Liz
but the
Shack...
president of HTC says that the iPhone is no longer cool, though, Seth.
Yeah, well, I don't really take my cool advice from guys like that.
The acting president. He's not even the real president. He's only acting like it. He's trying to act cool. That's a weird statement, though. Like, he said it was your father's iPhone.
Well, his other comment was like, "Oh, I talked to my daughter at college, and all the kids have Blackberries and Samsungs and Android phones, and nobody has iPhones. That's the parents have iPhones." So that's.
But then
well,
he says that the MacBook Airs are still cool. Just so
Right.
strange.
But what's funny is, like, just because that small subset of people his daughter knows doesn't have iPhones means globally the handset is not cool anymore.
Well, and we also have to take a look at price. Like if you're eating ramen noodles, every single night because you can't afford a meal, you might be choosing to get the phone not because you want that phone, but just that's the only phone you can afford.
That's cruel. I mean, it's okay for a human being to live on ramen noodles, but really not to give
But
them
not
the
with
best
a
user
crappy
experience
phone.
possible. That's just mean. There should be a fund or something we can contribute to help underprivileged college student friends of HTC's acting president's daughter to get the phone that they really want.
I think we should let
Right.
Amnesty International know.
I think we should troll her and see if she's actually using an iPhone eventually.
This is Jesse Jackson. I would like to announce an initiative immediately to get iPhone 4s in the hands of the daughters, friends of HTC's acting president. That could play. That gets some coverage. You could do a sit-in.
It would be really funny if somebody actually looked at her tweets or something and found that she was posting from iOS apps.
Yeah, posted from my iPhone.
Yeah.
I'd enjoy that.
Probably not. It's like that when Bill Gates is... But these things are not surprising. I bet Steve Jobs' daughter doesn't use an Android phone. So
Well,
Bill Gates' family is not allowed having iOS products in the house. I mean, these are not
Right.
surprising things.
and then why are there so many phones that are remarkably similar looking to the iPhone?
I did an article about this because there was an article, John Gruber put up an article called Winning, because there's this big debate over metrics, because if you take all phones powered by Android outnumber all phones powered by iOS. So if that's the lens with which you choose to view the market, then Android has superiority of numbers. If you choose to go by Apple making 60% of the profits in mobile and say that money is how you keep score in business, then Apple is winning. But I didn't agree with either of those things because the way I looked at it, Apple's already won. And I took a lot of heat for this, but I think it's true. I think Palm definitely won the last generation because when the Trio came along, it was a sea change in mobile devices. And everyone after that tried to be the Trio. And now, ever since the iPhone shipped in 2007, Android was trying to make a BlackBerry competitor until they saw the iPhone. Then they tried to make an iPhone competitor. We now live in a world where BlackBerry's flagship front-facing QWERTY device has a capacitive touch screen on it. It is definitely a different reality than it was 5 years ago. And I think it's absolutely true that Apple has won this generation. And while there might be a battle for who dominates it, the same way there was a battle for Windows eventually won, even though Apple popularized the GUI. Android might end up selling more than an iPhone, but it's still an iPhone sort of derivative product, and we'll have to wait for the next generation to see what the next form of mobile device will be.
Yeah, I think that perspective is probably a pretty not a safe one, but an accurate one, because if you do look at what phones looked like before, you're absolutely right. Phones looked extremely different, and the analogy to the Palm stuff is very very true. Things all kind of had the same ish size screen. They all kind of had keyboards in the same sort of configurations, and then we all know what happened with Android and that first development handset and what we saw it look like and how it ended up looking. So I think you're right in that for the time being, Apple has it's not an ongoing thing. This phase is now kind of set by this form factor, the slab with the touchscreen and no buttons on the front, and it's about this size, this shape with minor variations on a theme. But I'd be curious to know where this goes from here. What could possibly supplant this in terms of usability? I mean, obviously, we speaking for myself, I had my Trio 700 WX on Sprint a long time ago, and I thought that there would be no better form factor in my lifetime. That was the best phone I'd ever used at that point.
It was phenomenal. And the interesting thing is, too, like in the chat room, they're saying, Nokia had a black slab in 1812. Apple didn't. I'm not talking about inventing it. Inventing it is nothing. Inventing it is interesting, but mainstreaming something is when it makes a sea change, is when the entire industry changes. And that, Xerox had a GUI and a mouse before Apple did, but very few people... it's hard to argue that is what influenced mainstream people to get into GUIs. The same way, yes, Nokia and other companies had very large, heavy devices that ran Windows Mobile and had 13 icons that looked like a network connection, and I could never figure out how to turn it on. But now every phone has the capacitive, not the resistive, not the stylus-based, capacitive touchscreen. They have an onboard, platform-based app store, not Handango or Mobi or any of those other ones. And it's a series of steps that Apple took that everyone now in the industry has emulated.
Yep, and it was a really fast switch too. Really, when the first iPhone came out, it was really something that was different than all the other phones. It set itself, as separate, and then it really caught hold, went wildfire, and then everyone went back to that design shape.
I mean, people can be as bitter as they want, but there is nobody who saw that 2007 Macworld keynote where Steve Jobs showed off the iPhone for the first time, whose jaws did not drop at the multi-touch interface that Apple showed off. We'd never seen anything like it. And yes, Android impressed since then, WebOS impressed since then, but that was the big change in mobile, was Macworld 2007. And there will be another one, just like there was one after Palm, there'll be one after Apple, and I don't know what that is yet. But I think for this generation, it's clear who set the stage. And it is no more clear than still every time a new device comes out, what is it compared to? It's not compared to WebOS. It's not compared to BlackBerry, not compared to Android. It's compared to the iPhone, nay dubbed an iPhone killer. And until something is dubbed, oh, look, this is a Thunderbolt killer. Oh, look, this is a BlackBerry 9900 killer. Until that starts happening,
it's Apple the Samsung Epic 2 Samurai Karachi.
3rd edition series for Windows Live killer.
Yeah.
And you can hate all you want, but I think that's true. You know what they won't hate on though, Georgia?
Do tell me.
I'll give you a couple guesses, and the first two don't count. What is one thing that the entire universe is going to rally against? Rally for, I mean.
Oh, okay, good. Fine. I've been waiting for this,
I know. You couldn't wait to post
I've been
this.
dying. When you skipped over and went to the next, I went, oh no, really? Really? I have to wait a little bit longer for this? This could kill me. It is, if you so wish, soon, I believe it's a month, you will be able to get your glowing Apple logo. A mod eye patch.
Yeah, what do you
awesome.
think?
That's all I have to say. Awesome. And someone in the comments said, well, it's okay. Let's go through what it is first, and then I can get all excited and squeal and everything else. It's so maybe. So the mod is going to, you send in your iPhone, they do the mod, and what will happen is they come back and you end up with a rear glass glowing iPhone. Like exactly with what we have been.
Not we, you.
Well,
you take credit for this, yeah.
I have been dreaming of, wishing for. Am I going to send my iPhone 4 in to get this done? If I keep my iPhone 4, yeah, Yeah, I can't even, like, it would be what, $150 for me? I can't see myself not doing it. The only thing would be how long I'd have to be
You're
without
such an
my
eye
iPhone.
diva.
Right, right. So yeah, here it goes. Glowing iPhone logo. Am I completely just like lame for this, Seth? You can say it.
I'm gonna take the high road here and not criticize you for the things that you like, but
Ouch.
Oh,
I am really shocked that your head is still attached to your shoulders and not splattered around your home after seeing this.
Seth, she threw down other
Yeah.
tippy bloggers and trampled them to get this story up.
Yeah, I believe it.
I think I still have Georgia-shaped footprints on my head.
the amount of excitement is like, it's phenomenal, and it is exactly what we had hoped for. It's just going to be the exact same thing for the Mac. It's going to be using the screen, so it's going to be an infinitesimal amount of difference in the battery power. It won't cause any heating of the back case. The light will go off when the screen goes off, so you don't have to worry about that. It's going to have an even glow. It's not going to, it will illuminate when you get a text or a call. It's not going to change any differences to the thickness because they're going to be using the same glass that is used for the iPhone. You can even change the color of the logo if you so wish. My idea of having it to click in different colors, it's not happening right now, but that's okay. I would like it white. We'll go a little bit more Ives there. Simple. The camera functions will not change. It will void warranty, but you can remod it back for a small fee. And it'll be under warranty. So, awesome. Awesome.
Yeah.
Can we keep George's lower third like that forever?
For a long time.
That was good.
Well, the one difference, though, is that the logo will not be silver at first. It's going to be clear, transparent. They're going to see if they can actually put a glass-like backing so it'll have a silver Apple logo when it's not there. But you know what? I don't care. Quite frankly, don't care.
I don't care.
No. And I would take off my beautiful bodyguard skins in order to have, yeah, well worth it.
You could just cut a hole in it. You wouldn't even have to take it off.
Ooh,
she's not that
true.
good with box cutters.
Yeah, no, you don't. You don't want to see me with scissors.
Yeah. No, that is definitely one of the coolest mods we've ever seen, and I still maintain that regardless of what people say about glowing Apple logos, that if there was no other change to the iPhone 5, if it was in fact identical in every way, same camera, same processor even as the iPhone 4, and they put a glowing Apple logo on it, they'd sell a gazillion of them.
Me?
One.
Yeah, I would get one for sure.
There'd be lineups and lineups and lineups and lineups.
Yeah, I'm totally stoked. I'm just waiting. I'm going to wait my month.
Yeah.
And yes, they'll take international orders, but how long is it going to take? Am I going to be without a phone for 2 weeks? That'll be the hardest thing. It's actually just the time that I would be without my phone.
Just wait till Ali starts doing it.
Well, they say that it's as long as you understand, it is going to be a little bit complex in order to do it, but they will export franchise kits to trained repairers abroad, so maybe she will.
Yeah, she can get in on that.
Yeah.
You need to understand the iPhone functions at a circuitry level.
Yeah. Huh.
So,
Do you know what our friend
no,
Phil
no.
Nickinson has been up to?
yeah, has he been testing out telephones again?
He has. He's whipped this little ditty together.
Hey there everybody, Phil here for AndroidCentral.com, and here it is finally, the Motorola Droid Bionic. Probably one of the strangest launches of a phone we've ever seen, and we've seen quite a few. So to back up, if you don't remember, technically this phone, we'll be saying that over and over. You got some icons down here. You've got your docked apps, so you've got phone, text messaging, the camera, and then your app drawer. I still hate the way those icons look. The camera looks like a washing machine.
So this is the
not a whole lot going on the home screen by default. We've got
Android,
Google's search
iPhone,
widget here, Verizon's data
competitor.
usage widget, which is
What do
nice.
you guys think?
A guided
Is
tour,
this-
which is really cool. So if you're new to Android,
This is definitely
and you're
spec
just
to
now
the
buying
max.
this phone,
This
be
is
sure to
the
go through
Uber
that. Some really good
iPhone is
stuff in
king of
there.
the hill. It may not
Mobile
be for long
hotspot,
because
so
there's
it's an
Galaxy
LTE
S2s
device, and
coming.
it will
There are
suck in the
all sorts of maybe a Nexus or Droid Prime coming. should people get an iPhone if they have to get an iPhone today? I'm not saying, maybe if they could wait till an iPhone 5, sure, but if they have to get an iPhone today and they're on Verizon, is it still fair to tell people to get an iPhone 4 when you have things like the Thunderbolt and the Charge and the Bionic on that network now? These big LTE devices?
Well, it would depend who's asking. If it's someone that is new to smartphones, then you would get the phone that's going to be the easiest, and they're not going to be calling you up constantly to have it fixed and how to do everything. So I would say that if they're used to, say, the Apple ecosystem, the iPhone would be just an easy and simple way. And though the specs are amazing, it's a more complex phone. It's nice. You can tinker with it. You can kind of theme it out. There's some really, really cute things. I love the contact list at the top and how you can swipe it down and you see all the pictures. I think that's really, really fabulous. And it seems to work really, really nicely. Dual core. It's nice. It's just a really nice phone. It's a little bit pudgy in the back because of it's running on LTE, and because of that, it's going to have a worse battery life as well. So if you're traveling a lot and you don't have a way to have a charger, might not be the best of phones for you, but it's a pretty sweet looking phone.
It's huge.
It's a nice screen too.
Yeah.
It's huge.
It is a nice looking phone.
It's like Sputnik. It's pointy around in places.
See, for me to switch, it would just be that having to go through relearning how to use my phone. It would frustrate me at such a level. I just can't be bothered. I don't have the energy to have to be bothered to reuse a phone that I'm going to have to use all the
Didn't you have a
time.
dirty little secret? Didn't your
Do I?
sister-in-law get a Verizon Droid?
Yes. Yes.
Did
Yeah,
you disown
she
her?
didn't ask me though.
She didn't ask you?
No.
But
No. It was cheap. Like, it came down to the fact that it was affordable.
did you have a chance to try it out? I know I heard your husband complaining that everything was done differently on different areas of the phone, and it vexed him.
No, I didn't. I didn't actually get to test the baby out. I should have.
It was probably too big. You probably couldn't lift it off the table.
It wasn't too large. It wasn't too big. Like the phone, the Droid Bionic, I don't like the way that the back has the little tiny bump for the LTE.
Well, it's not the
They kind of
LTE
look like
because
a little-
the previous droids had that. I don't know why. I think they did the bump for the camera assembly.
Are you sure?
Yeah,
I think that's
because
what Phil had said.
the Droid X has a bump on the back,
Yeah?
and that's pre-LTE. So maybe they
I
fixed that,
thought
and now
that-
they've added the bump back for LTE.
Maybe they like the design. No, that's kind of a little bit. I'm like, it looks a little bit old school.
But at least because there's that ongoing lawsuit between Apple and Samsung, the quote-unquote copyist. At least Motorola has their own design aesthetic. I mean, like, you would never confuse. Well, I can't say never, but I don't see many people confusing a Motorola Droid phone with an iPhone. I mean, these things have classic Corellian Star Freighter aesthetic, completely different than anything that Apple would produce, and I like that. I like that Motorola is different.
Yeah, me too. I've always liked the Motorola handsets that I've seen and played with, and we have 2 Droid X's at the office, and I still think their phones, their Android phones, are among my favorites because they feel really good in your hand. Like that Droid X, when you pick it up, it's not too heavy, but it feels pretty solid. And I never really minded that little camera lump. Like, it's about the size of a AA battery, maybe a AAA battery that just kind of sticks off the top and the back.
It's like the bulge on a club, or the top of a club is bigger, so you can hit people with it more effectively, right?
Right, exactly. It's very good for that too. You can actually huck those things around and knock somebody out.
Yeah, it's theft deterrent is what it is.
Yeah, but I do like that they're kind of forging their own path and they have their own definitive style. And I'm not crazy about the marketing behind it because I think it's just a little too out there in terms of, especially that commercial where it's like buy machines for
No, dude,
controlling
I have
the
to
light.
admit,
They actually
I
scared me.
hate
A lot of the
saying
Droid
this.
commercials would scare me.
if those were B movies, I would so watch them.
Yeah, I know, right? That one that
That's
looked
true.
like
That's
Thunderdome
true.
with the girl and the robots.
Yeah, I would. Just like I watched those 2-star Steven Seagal movies, I'd be all over those.
Yeah, I can't lie. I would too. That's definitely Netflix instant
Yes.
fodder right there.
Yes.
They're good phones, though. They're made well.
Our classic advice, I think, still pertains because there hasn't even been an announcement of an iPhone 5, but there's fairly good indicators one will be out in a month. There's been no indication of a Galaxy S2 for Verizon, although they'll probably get a variant that's LTE enabled or a Droid Prime or a Nexus Prime or something. So I would suggest that right now is not the best time to buy any new phone on Verizon, and you're better off if you can waiting a few weeks, even if you have to use a crappy little phone in the meantime.
Oh, I would definitely second that. I think at this point in the year, if you have to get a new phone, like you just don't have any other options, either one of those phones will be good. The iPhone 4 with iOS 5 is going to be a very solid device, and that Bionic is a really nice handset. But I totally agree. If you can get even a flip phone for a couple of weeks and just suffer,
Yeah.
you'll be
That's
better
what I
off.
would do.
A Nokia candy bar, anything. Just wait a month.
If my phone busted up now and I need a phone to survive, which I do, I would wait. I would just suffer through for the weeks, and I would be angry, and I would bring my iPad with me everywhere. But
No, you wouldn't. You would take back the phone you gave your husband, and then he would suffer.
You give him the lousy phone.
No, actually, I would probably just take back my 3G
The broken
for
screen
the
3G?
period of time. No. I have a good 3G.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
And I would go through it with that, but if I didn't have to, I would, like, if I didn't have that option that there's like phones just kind of floating around the area, I would go with a crappy phone, suffer it out. Right.
Yeah. No. Yeah.
Seth, what would you do if your phone
Well, I don't have
busted
to worry
up?
because we have like 30 different phones at the office, so I could just pick one of those up and throw a SIM in it. But if I were a real person and didn't have these resources at my disposal,
A real
I would
person.
I would probably just find whatever phone I could, like even if it meant, a BlackBerry or something, just for a couple of weeks.
Oh.
Yeah. You honestly, at this point, I wouldn't buy anything. I would definitely be waiting. I would not spend any money, any contract money, nothing. I would just be sitting and quietly twiddling my thumbs until some announcements come out.
You know how I know Georgia wasn't telling the truth? Because if she went back to her 3G, she could not run the OS X Lion Ultimatum theme.
Oh yeah, I saw that. That looked cool.
Yeah, that does look pretty sweet.
Yeah.
It looks like a bit more than you need, but it still looks really
But
cool.
it's everything that you want.
Well, again, though, it would take me. I would be like, it's almost like too much theme for me. Like, I think it goes
It's your
past
Angelina Jolie.
my theme needs. I'd have to turn off a whole bunch of the different things that come with a theme to just get used to how to use them on my phone, just because I'm always touching the phone. It is a smaller screen, so the fingers come on, and then suddenly I would be like scrolling past things. I'd like the dock would suddenly be scrolling, be like, what's happening here? The dock is scrolling, I've dragged a window by mistake, and I'd get all frustrated with having to do something quick. But yeah, it's pretty sweet. So it has fully usable, accurate find bars and menus, Launchpad, stacks just like macOS, so you can find all of your favorite apps with one tap. Scrollable dock, which it really actually I find that's like completely excites me. Draggable windows, mission control, so you have access to any of the widgets. Functional dashboard, and lock screen. Sweet.
Our good buddy Kevin Mitchell in the chat room is now upset that first we didn't recommend everyone buy a BlackBerry, and second that this theme does not run on BlackBerry. So sorry again, sorry.
1 star.
Meh.
1 star.
Can't run on my BlackBerry. 1
Should
star.
have been Java 2ME.
Should have been free.
It's all the same thing. So would you run this theme, Georgia? Yay or nay?
I would run it definitely. I'm not even gonna say maybe. Yes, I'll definitely run the theme, but I would again have to turn off a whole bunch of stuff, and then I'll like try out one thing, get used to it, and then I'll go to the next after, because I do think this is a little bit like too much theme for me.
Too much theme to you. But if you did need a theme, you would give it a try at least.
Oh yeah, yeah, for sure. Yeah, it's not. Yeah, I'll be all over that.
And you, Seth Clifford?
No, absolutely not. I don't theme.
You don't theme?
I don't theme.
That is morally against theming.
This is common knowledge at this point. This should not come as a surprise to anybody. I don't theme anymore on anything because I want my stuff to be stable. And yes, okay, I'm running betas. Haha, it's not stable. But seriously, like that stuff looks awesome, and I love looking at it. And I give Georgia a big thumbs up when she wants to ruin her phone. But no, not for me.
Well, thank you for that.
Only when she wants to ruin her phone, not in general?
What's that?
Only when she wants to ruin her phone, not in general?
No, she gets a thumbs up, and then she gets maybe a double for the theming. Like, hey, like more like a Fonzie thing.
The little with a cutesy face, right, Seth?
Oh yeah, the double thumbs up and the Sears Portrait Studio smile. Yeah.
I love it. I love it.
The
Okay,
thing
fair
for
enough.
me is that I don't really like themes that try to look like other things. Like I know they're hugely popular, that there's, especially there, like speaking of BlackBerry, there's tons of OS 10 themes and iPhone themes. And for jailbreak, you can get themes that make your phone look like a Windows phone or an Android phone. I would rather a theme that looks like something completely different. If I'm going to get a theme, I don't want it to look like something else, because then I would have just bought that phone. I don't need my phone to look like OS 10. I have a Mac, so I would really, I like Natsua's Twilight theme. I like the stuff that looks, different and new and creative and original, and not necessarily.
You know what freaks me out though with themes? Is that not every single icon will work with the theme.
Yeah.
And that ruins it for me. I guess I might have a slight amount of OCD. I
No,
noticed there
it's
that.
it's not
It bothers
OCD.
me.
You're just noticing things that make sense. If your theme is inconsistent, you might as well not have it.
Yeah, there we go. Let's do that on Iterate, because it does seriously annoy me. And they'll be like, I want everything, if they're all the icons are square, just make every icon that appears on the phone then square and like colored, or do something. But yeah, one icon suddenly doesn't fit, and then it's annoying me. I'm like, I have to get rid of this icon.
If the icon doesn't fit the theme, you must quit.
That was terrible.
What, too much?
I wasn't going to say anything. You see, Seth was being mean that time, not me.
Seth doesn't
I was going to let him go with it.
Seth does not have a mean bone in his non-corporeal body.
No, that's true. I have pure evil bones, but they're not mean.
No.
He's just a big angry ball of hate. I like it.
No,
it's good. It works.
That's Keith Newman. He's
No,
a
I'm
happy
really
ball of
more of a curmudgeon as opposed to a ball of hate.
hate. A cursing curmudgeon.
Yeah.
What's going on in the forums, Georgia?
We have a lot of really interesting things going on in the forum. So we have dealing with social networks, iPhone 5 pricing, iPhone 5 design, and a whole bunch of other stuff. We also have a whole bunch of new forums that are opened up, right, Renee?
Yeah, well, first of all, we have our social network forum now. So Jeremy has threads up there for you to share your Twitter ID, your Google Plus ID, or your Facebook username if you want to make friends and influence people and just otherwise get all social with it. You can check out those threads. They're in the show notes. You can find the show notes at tippy.com. That's tipb.com/podcasts. Just look for for this episode, and you'll find the notes. We've also recently added a business forum. Allie's getting deep into the iPhone and business, and she wanted a place to discuss enterprise and small business needs for the iPhone. And Martin from Made Simple Learning is actually he had the inaugural post in there. He's giving away 4 copies of his enterprise training for iPhone, which is I think $125 license. So he's giving away 4 copies of those. So make sure you check that out. And we started up a photography forum, and Leanna is going to get things going in there, but we're going to have some pretty good iPhone photographers in there, sharing projects and tips and how to take better video and how to take better pictures. So I'm hellza excited.
Yeah, they're really, really blooming. So take a look.
Forums.tippy.com.
Take a look, see what you want.
Yep.
Right. And we're also having a lot of contesty goodness.
It's insane. Tippy.com/contests. We're giving away those cute little speakers that you liked.
Love those speakers.
Yeah. Hella
They're
cute.
really, really sweet.
There's
They're
Martin's
amazing.
giveaway. We're giving away a ton of apps. Leanna is just going crazy with the app giveaways. We gave away, I think, 15 copies of the iWork apps last week, and this week she's giving away Smule's new iPhone and iPad app.
Yeah, these are not little giveaways. They're really big giveaways. So take a look. You can actually go to tippy.com/contest, Renee.
Yeah, tippy.com/contests, and
you can actually enter all the contests. They're all there, so it's like easy. You just go through, enter them all.
Yeah.
Kevin's offering to give himself away on a date as a contest.
No, because then
Is he really?
Mrs. Crackberry will smack him around. So I can't let him take that hurt.
He said he'll buy dinner if you fly to Winnipeg.
Oh, nice. Only if you're a BlackBerry user, though. If you use an iPhone, he'll get very sad. Yeah, that's the news, and so we are out of here. Georgia, where can we find out more about you and yours?
You can find me on Twitter at at Georgia Tippy. You can find me on the website at www.tippy.com, and also on on iPad Live and Zen and Tech.
Nice. And Seth Clifford, sir, where can we find out more about you?
You can find me on Twitter at Seth Clifford. You can find me on the Tippy shows, iPhone Live and iPad Live. You can find me on Iterate with Renee and Mark Edwards of Bajango. And yes, I'm sorry it's been a couple weeks, but we promise you will be rocked clear out of your socks next week when we come back. And
Yeah,
if you'd
people
like
are
to check
upset
out,
when they don't see it.
No, I know. I got some comments about it, and I tried to allay everyone's fears that the show wasn't going to happen.
Right.
And if you'd like to check out some of the apps and sites and work that we do, you can visit our website at nfidm.com. We're Nickelfish.
Damn it.
You can find me at Renee Ritchie. You can find all of us at tippy.com or just at Tippy on Twitter. You can send us an email at podcast@tippy.com or leave a comment on the site when the post goes live. We are here every Wednesday night at 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific, 2 a.m. British Summer Time. Not only in audio, but in video now. If you want to see us on video, just go to youtube.com/the iPhone blog, and very soon we'll have video feeds up in the iTunes as well, Georgia.
Exactly that.
Yeah, and you can find the rest of our shows at mobilenations.com/shows, including Zen and Tech with Georgia, Iterate with Seth. We have Super Functional with Jeff, Mobile Nations with myself, Kevin, Phil, Dan, Derek, and all the guys. And a ton of other great shows, crackberry.com podcast, Android Central, the Palmcast, WP Central podcast. Check it out, mobilenations.com/shows. And if you haven't already, please go to iTunes. Please subscribe to the show and leave a rating. It helps more people find the show. And the more people that find the show, the happier we are, because we love you people. And we love the people who join us live in the chat room. Tippy.com/live every Sunday night, every Wednesday night. When's iPad Live again, Georgia?
Sunday nights, 9 p.m. Eastern.
Same bat time?
Same bat channel. And Zen and Tech is right after.
Nice. It's a double. What do they call those things? A double show? A double. What is it?
Double feature.
Double feature. Back in the drive-in days. Sweet.
Yeah.
All right. Have a good night, folks.
See you guys.
Woohoo. Hang on.
Is it a mobile OS? Hi, I'm Mark Edwards.
And complete.
Hey, Mark.
Hi, Mark.
How did Mark get on this show?
What's Mark doing here?
Oh, okay. I see what happened. This is all going to be fixed in post. I swear.
What's up?
Where did it go? I don't know what happened here. This is amusing. Hang on. Hold, please.
Yo, seriously, I'm not posting about Nickelback in the chat.
We know
That's
you love
not
them
me.
now.
All right,
You
hold
are
on,
so
hold on.
lying. You love Nickelback.
And this isn't a remix, by the way. For some reason, our theme song is acting up.
Dance stream is weird.
All right, we're done.
So,
Nice.
Nickelback.
Are we still live or are we off?
They can still hear you.
Oh, okay.
Why were you
What
gonna?
are you
Were you
gonna
gonna
say?
start cursing?
I may have.
Nice.
Oh,
I'm
that's the
glad I
best
checked.
part. Okay, tell
I'm
him.
glad I
Tell him
checked.
it's over.
No. So Georgia, are we gonna use the show title that you suggested earlier?
What did I suggest over?
Well,
What did
no,
I suggest
you,
earlier?
You said "Nicks in the butt" and it sounded hilarious. I think we might use that.
Okay, cool.
Nice. It might get us a whole new crowd.
If the sex wax chains, whatever the other one didn't,
That
and
got us,
Muppet
Seth.
porn, we didn't get those. If that didn't increase our viewership, I
I
don't
don't
know.
think we ever actually called the episode Muppet Porn. We have to use that later.
We didn't.
No.
Okay, well then there's something wrong. We gotta do that.
Yeah. What does the chat room think we should call this show? Does the chat room have any suggestions? They're way smarter than us. Kevin says Tippy After Dark. That's not bad. We have to do our all Muppet Show one episode though.
Oh yeah, no, we have to send out the Muppets to get made. And we each make a Muppet.
Yeah, and I'm making the Georgia.
And the
one 'cause I
fun
bought a
part would
ton
be
of
that,
yarn.
yeah, we each have to make someone else's Muppet.
Yeah.
So I would have to make a Seth. Seth would have to make a Renee. Renee would have to make a, like, we would do it like that.
It's gonna be great.
Yeah.
I'm gonna hire J Baby to knit me a really cool one.
You got a knitted
is that
Muppet?
cheating? Does she do Muppets?
I
mean, does she knit
I bet
Muppets?
she can. She seems quite versatile.
Muppet knitting. That's another great episode. The chat room is really not suggesting good episodes. Come on, chat room, get with it. What's the title of this episode? They're busy talking about their own things. Yeah, routinely chat.
Why does Lloyd the droid look like Sock right now? What's happening to the chat
Wait a
room?
minute.
Maybe Sock.
So it's not that my chat roll was messed up. It's that there's something wrong with chat roll, because you're right. Because Sock and Lloyd have the same thing.
And I would assume Lloyd doesn't want to look like Sock. He wants to look like Lloyd the droid. No?
Yeah, and also I hate Nickelback.
You hate Nickelback? You're so lying. I saw you post that you
They're
didn't. Now you're
Canadian.
just
How
trying to
can you
take it
hate
back.
them?
Oh my god, I can't take this. I'm not getting into this with you. I'm not getting
You
into
can't hate Canadians. It's impossible. Would you
Listen,
hate Mounties?
You guys are my favorite Canadians, but Nickelback needs to be stopped.
Do they? Would it be horrible for me to say I kind of like Nickelback?
No, it's not horrible for you to say it, but
It's horrible for you to say Seth likes them.
all right, there you go. There you go. That's horrible.
Are there any other Canadian bands that you hate, Seth?
Rush.
No, I don't think I hate other Canadian bands. I don't hate people based on geography. I hate them based on their suckitude.
Okay.
Kevin's saying Nickelback is the downfall of music, so he obviously
See,
agrees with you.
Kevin knows.
But
There you go.
Which means that Chris is now making an entire Nickelback playlist for BlackBerry Music and is sharing it with Kevin.
Love it. Love it. They're there. I'm gonna make a little ping account for Seth. It'll be all about Nickelback.
Look at this. Now Lloyd looks like me.
Does he really?
Yeah, look in the chat.
So is someone having fun with you?
That's cute. That's cute, Lloyd.
How about Our Lady? What is it? Our Lady Priest? They're Canadian, aren't they?
Who?
Isn't it Our Lady? Our Lady. What is it, Georgia? Our Lady something.
Peace.
Our Lady Peace. That's right.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And Bare Naked Ladies are Canadian, right?
Yeah, and they sang the Big
They
Bang
are.
theme song. I dare you to hate on them.
They seem like nice guys.
They do. I think we're winding down. Are you guys done? Did you have a sufficient evening?
Sure.
I think we're cooked.
I'm just happy to be back on the internet again. It was the most torturous 10 hours of my life without having anything online. Most people ran out to
that
get
must
lunch.
have been horrible.
I ran out to talk to Kevin on email.
I'm glad my Skype didn't poop out again. That was freaking me
Oh,
out. I didn't know what I was going to
waiting for you
do.
to freak.
Were you downloading an Ubuntu distro or something at the beginning of the show?
Dude, I have nothing
Nickelback
going on
videos.
here. I am the only person online right now doing nothing. All I have is Skype and the Safari, the window. That's it. That's all I have going on.
But you don't know what Amy's doing. She might be downloading Ubuntu.
She's not doing anything. She might be up there actually on her touchpad. She really digs it.
She likes the touchpad? Does it have
Yeah.
Netflix? If it has Netflix, she's watching. Oh, God. Seth, you have to watch the Sherlock Holmes show from BBC. Sherlock.
Oh, the new one?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
All
good.
right.
Did you finish it yet, Georgia?
It's good.
I've heard it's pretty
I'm
good.
going to be watching the third tonight.
Nice.
Yeah, she's downloading Windows 8 upstairs. That's likely.
And she might be, or her husband might be. You never know. The problem with having too many geeks in a household is Seth was smarter than you, Georgia. He married a non-geek, so he gets all the bandwidth.
Yeah, that's true. Oh, they
Yeah, I
want to
guess
see my
so.
shirt. All right, hold on. Let me stand on my tiptoes for a second. This is an old Think Geek one.
Roses
Is it?
are hash F00000. Violets are hash 0000FF. All my bases are belong to you.
Cute.
Yeah.
Nice. All right, guys. I am going to call this an evening. Good evening. The quarterback is toast. End of line.